Welcome to the TMZ podcast. Devin here with Kay.
Kay McKay, first time.
First time. We're off to a really bad start, though.
Why?
You stole my seat.
Oh, is this your seat?
You just came in and I walked in and I saw you were sitting there and I was just like, I'm just going to roll with it.
I do apologize. This is just my good side of my face.
Okay, no, you're good.
Okay.
I don't have a good side of my face.
Okay,
so
must
it
be
works.
nice.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't. Both are equally bad.
Oh, please, Devin.
So it works out. So we're going to be talking about a lot of serious stuff today.
Yes.
All Nolan Wells. Obviously, we've been all over this case.
Right.
We've interviewed. We have a new interview with someone who is also interviewing people. So that's kind of interesting. He's been making waves. So first we're going to talk about Warren Hudson's dad offering this reward for any information. Then, like I said, we will get into Officer Tatum.
Right.
We have an interview with him who was interviewing Warren Hudson's son. Or no, Warren Hudson. He's been interviewing Warren Hudson.
The son is Warren,
Sorry, there's a lot of Warrens.
I know, yes.
And then lastly, there's another friend of Nolan Wells that is speaking out, that is being blamed or having something to do with it by people online. So we'll get into all that.
We will.
Okay, so Warren Hudson's father has offered a $50,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone responsible for Nolan Wells' death.
Yes, and just to catch people up, Warren Hudson is a supposed friend of Nolan Wells, and I believe he was on Horn Island the day everything happened.
He was in one of the boat that broke down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's who Warren Hudson is. Like you said, his father is now offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and a conviction. His name, Dr. Benjamin Hudson, that's Warren's dad. Dr. Hudson says, we don't know that anyone had involvement, but we care about Nolan and we want to find out what happened. So what a great gesture on their part. And I'm interested in knowing, because I do believe that Warren is lawyered up. Yeah. I'm interested in knowing what Warren's side is as well.
Yeah, well, so Warren, he's kind of put his side out because he's done these interviews with Officer Tatum where he's basically kind of said I had nothing to do with this, detailed every last thing that happened that day, gave some evidence like that video of their boat leaving.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the crazy part of this story is obviously it's a national story. People want answers. No one wants answers, obviously, more so than Nolan Wells' parents.
For sure.
But Dr. Hudson says not only are they giving up a $50,000 reward, but they've been receiving death threats.
Yeah.
And he says credible ones. And see, that's the problem sometimes where in today's day and age with social media, it is great because there's all these online sleuths that do actually find video and find evidence. Sure. And it is great. But there is also the counter to that is there's all these people who are, blaming people or threatening people that may or may not have anything to do with Nolan Wells' disappearance, which is what the Hudsons are saying.
Right. And that can easily prevent and keep people who actually know information from coming forward because they're fearful for their lives, rightfully so. And like you said, social media is such a powerful tool where people from across the world will have access to your account. And I'm sure death threats are coming from across the world because, as you know, this is a national, I would even argue that this will soon be an international case.
For sure. And that'll be interesting. Obviously, him offering up that money, we can hope, because it doesn't seem like law enforcement at least isn't saying that there's been any really credible leads yet, and hopefully maybe you throw some money out there and someone like you said who may have been scared of being looped into this and threatened by people online will now be like, oh well, for $50K I might actually be willing to come forward because I may have seen something. So we'll see if that leads to anything. The second story, Brandon Tatum. So this is Officer Tatum. He is the guy who went down and has been interviewing Warren Hudson.
Journalist.
Yes. He released a whole 5-part series where he, they went out to the island and Warren gave his whole spiel about, his alibi and what he saw and whatnot. So was it Jackson who interviewed him?
Yeah.
So Jackson, one of our employees here, did a sit-down interview with Officer Tatum and basically just, talked to him about the case and whatnot. And here's a clip of Officer Tatum.
Mentioned before that, Warren's stepmom reached out to you. Warren's stepmom is a huge point of contention amongst people following this case because Warren's stepmother is a judge. Outwardly, you seem aligned with a right-wing political ideology. She knew what you aligned with. And that's why people are saying that she sought you out in particular, because she was confident that the way you would cover her son and his story would be acceptable to them, to the to Warren's family.
Yes and no, right? I mean, think about this. Would Nolan Wells' mother, Christine, hire Benjamin Crump if he wasn't going to frame or do what's in the best interest of her son, in her opinion? Mm-hmm. So I think that I can't read his mother's mind, but I can say it's not odd that if a mother wants her son's story to get out there, she's going to go with a person that she thinks is going to be the most fair to her son, and not necessarily mischaracterize what he say or try to use his story to make money or do something nefarious. So I don't know what she's thinking in her mind, but I think that people should be reasonable and say she wasn't going to pick somebody that was going to do something that she thought would hurt her son, or tell a lie or not be genuine. So that seems reasonable to me. But that wasn't a conversation that I had with her before any of this happened.
That Judge Cole is a family judge, but do you not think her position as a sitting judge creates a conflict, given her stepson is of public interest in this case?
I think that the only conflict that could occur is that she has to be mindful that she is a public or a government official. The conflict in jurisdiction, there's no conflict. There is nothing associated with family law and criminal law. There's no association. There's nothing she can do on the family law side that can interfere or change the outcome of a criminal investigation. Clearly, her connections are not that good, because her son is being accused of killing somebody who is his best friend, and they have no outlet to even speak about it unless they go to someone on social media that have a platform to give them a voice.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. Obviously, yes. So what I had never heard of Officer Tatum before. I know he has a big following. I looked him up on like Twitter and stuff. So it's not like he was a nobody. Right. He definitely has been doing this kind of stuff for a little while.
Right.
But I guess the controversy is just that, Warren does this big interview, this sit down with someone that no one's ever heard of. Right. And everyone's like, well, why did they pick him and not go to the Today Show or just, more typical outlets you would see people go to. And I mean, he's just defending that. People are thinking he was cherry picked because he's going to, basically put out content and an interview that favors them and not actually be a journalist. But he's defending that and saying, everyone in this case has had the right to choose whoever they want to tell their story or represent them, similar to how the Wells family are using Ben Crump.
Rightfully so. And, when situations like this do happen and, you typically do see the parents go to the Today Show or CBS This Morning, things like that, all fine and dandy. But sometimes, like he was just discussing of Nolan Wells' mother picking Ben Crump, sometimes you just have to be strategic in how you want to handle situations in order for it to be brought to light in the most respectful way, because this is so serious. Right. With Ben Crump representing the Wells family, like he said, they could have went with any other attorney. I'm sure a lot of attorneys wanted to take this, case. However, I'm sure there was a thought process within Nolan Wells' mother and father. Like, Ben Crump has a record of, civil rights cases. And I do believe that they think this is along the lines of a civil rights case. And so that might have been their reasoning of picking a Ben Crump. Same with everybody has their reasonings of why they wanted to choose Officer Tatum other than other journalists. So you just got to respect people's decision.
Right, totally. I agree. I know it complicates everything a little bit just because, obviously his stepmom is a Warren Hudson stepmom is a judge. Right. So people think, it's Mississippi, it's corrupt. She's going to protect her son from any of this. And his rebuttal to that essentially was just that, clearly she wasn't able to protect him because it got named on social media as a potential, witness or someone involved, and basically that she does family law, nothing to do with criminal law. I don't know.
And you gotta think Mississippi's so small.
Yeah, but I get his point there. But it's also I'm sure all the judges know the other judges.
Yeah,
it's not just because you're in one department you don't know the other judges or don't have friends in the system. So I don't know if I agree with that.
Right.
But yeah, at least, it's a good interview. Is that on YouTube, Tony? So yeah, if you want to see the whole interview with Officer Tatum, that's on TMZ's YouTube, so you can check that out.
Yes.
Lastly.
Last update.
Last update. Nolan Wells' other friend, Bart Edmiston Jr. Has had to defend himself as well, because people online have been accusing him of having something to do with it, saying that there's this photo floating around. And basically he's been, blamed by people on social media.
To the girlfriend, or has ties
to... allegedly, their social media people are saying that he has ties to this Katie McCormick girl, who allegedly was the last person that his other friends on the boat saw him with.
Right, and there was a little bit of back and forth with that. The friends on the boat were saying, no, Nolan Wells wanted to go stay with the girl, but the girl's sister said that
out and defended her
and was like, no, she said that Nolan Wells wanted to go with the friends.
Yeah, so it's all, but the girl, Katie, has apparently spoken with investigators. So they've spoken to her, and basically this Bart guy is basically saying that he has fully cooperated with the investigation, and, providing witnesses, digital evidence, access to his property, and he was interviewed. So it sounds like he has absolutely nothing to hide. This is another guy who is also lawyered up with a lawyer who is now sending off cease and desist and is going after people who online are accusing Bart of having anything to do with
That's what I was going to say. It more so sounds like he lawyered up because of the backlash he's facing online. Actually, I read that before he even lawyered up, without a warrant, he kind of put his hands up and was like, hey, you guys can check my phone, you can check my GPS records, you can check my boat. I'm going to give you 20 people that I know that were in the area, might have saw something. Like you said, it sounds like he's like, hey, I know I wasn't involved in this. I don't want to be involved with this. I'm only going to lawyer up because people keep running my name through the mud on social media.
Yeah, so and I guess the attorney also says he's been getting doxxed, which is getting his address put out there. So again, this is just another example of, people on social media looking at, trying to be internet sleuths and possibly blaming people that have absolutely nothing to do with this. And that's what he's saying is that I've been similar to Warren Hudson is I've fully cooperated with the investigation. I have nothing to do with this, nothing to hide. I've given them all the information I have. And that's basically all these kids can do.
And I wish that that's all they can do. And I understand lawyering up. I get that. It's a smart decision. However, I wish everybody would have done that so we could just get to the bottom of this quicker and sooner. I wish everybody would just say, hey, this is what I know. This is what I saw. You can check what you needed to check. And that's where, people get skeptical of like who's really innocent and who's not when people are so quick to lawyer up. And I understand it, even though lawyering up is a smart decision. But, what's interesting about this case is this to go to like a trial or to go to some formal court would have to be from the state, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a...
This would have to be the state versus whatever. No, well, I know that, but I'm just like, where's that conversation? Everybody's lawyering up for what? There's no conversation.
Well, I think just in today's day and age, it's like you see someone lawyer up and it's like, oh, they're sketchy, they have something to hide. But I think these are a bunch of kids who have never been involved in anything of this magnitude. And their families are probably like, I want to protect my kid from, from online doxing and death threats and stuff. And preventing people from dragging their name through the mud on social media. But I think also, so I don't if they have nothing involved in the the criminal aspect.
Like when does this get taken to court? Is it Ben Crump filing a lawsuit?
That could happen. I mean, what they're going to do is let the criminal investigation play out. They're going to release the autopsy report from the medical examiner and determine a cause of death. And then I think from there, you potentially could see lawsuits being filed against people who they think are, to blame or mess up the investigation. But that's all kind of speculation.
Yeah, that's all speculation.
All right, guys. We're not doing comments today. Okay, cool. So, it's been great.
It's been great.
I mean, you stole my spot, but besides that, everything else went great.
Oh.
See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.